How's Florida? Give it a few minutes, let everybody get their notifications, the ones that get them. Maybe. We'll give it a couple minutes. There we go. Milwaukee, what's going on? How you doing? Michael, Yvonne, how are you guys doing? Warren says I have to make sure I start writing 2026 on any checks. I know I actually had to go back and correct myself when I was typing out the description and everything for the live. I started to type 20. In fact, I typed 2025 and went, wait, no. I've already seen January of 2025. Wasn't necessarily a great month. I don't want to experience that again. So I corrected it. Warm in Kevin's neck of the woods in Florida for the rest of the week. Nice. Warm is good, especially this time of the year. Mary, how are you doing? Good to see you. Anybody else having a rough start to the week? It has not been not been a pleasant or monetarily beneficial start to the week. It's been kind of rough. Michael says I haven't had real checks since 2005. I think I gave up checks in 2012 or 2012, 2012, way into the future. Corey, what's going on? How you doing? Need the window cracked, but I don't want to get wet either. It's been raining here all day. It has been a while, and honestly, 2005 really wasn't that long ago. Doesn't even feel like it was that long ago at all. Oh, Mary, I'm sorry. You got a 1 star? I, I was talking to Captain Michael, who will probably be in here at some point, uh, about 1 stars on Uber. How we talked about that yesterday. A lot of them are actually done by accident because some of the apps it's tap, tap, 4 star, 5 star, whatever, and others it's swipe. So sometimes if you don't tap and swipe the right way, it just stops at the beginning, which is 1 star. I'm not sure if Uber still does it that way. I hope they have it fixed, but I don't know. Balmy 37 degrees in Milwaukee tonight. It's crisp 45 here. At least that's what my car says. They restarted my 1,600 a month insurance I canceled, and hot water heater blew just before Christmas. Ah, geez. And I thought I had it rough. The good news, Mary, is it's the very beginning of the year, so there's only one way to go, and that's up. House washing Rick, what's going on? Good morning from Scotland. Hey, the motherland. Very cool. I don't usually get people from Scotland in here. This is cool. Evan says a new year like a new water heater, Mary. Sorry to hear about your 1 star. I mean, new water heater, you're going to have, I mean, really, who the heck cares if your water heater goes out in July? Goes out in December, January. I mean, that's kind of the perfect time. You get a new water heater, water pressure is probably better. Doesn't take as long for the water to get hot. Better showers. The budget said get a heating camp shower, so I did. That works too. I haven't looked into those. I've looked into a lot of stuff for uh, my camper renovation. Should be starting that soon. Should be getting the camper soon, so that'll be really nice. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late for an important date. Princess Mel, how are you? Full of snowbirds. Tell them to go home. There's not that much snow, and it's not that bad. Comes with like an aquarium heater thing to warm the water. I was looking at a diesel heater for a camper. Now I had a bad headache. Mel, it must have been a Walmart induced headache because I had one of those today. Started this week has not been great. It has not been anything to talk about. DoorDash, oh, that's even worse. That's not a headache. That's a migraine. I just wish for like I don't know 20 minutes it would stop raining. I go for a 20-minute break. I was curious. I was talking to Captain Michael last night, and I was screwing around with AI. I've been screwing around with AI. I'm trying to get all my product photos done for the website. I had a lot of them done, and something happened, and they all disappeared. Just not pleasant because when you're, I was able to go back and re-download some of them that I use from the AI app. Some of them just disappeared. So I have to redo those. But it has not been fun because I have to take a picture of my sticker, decal, whatever product it is, and then I have to upload it using AI to change it to put like decal stickers. I have to use AI to put that on a car window, a bumper, whatever it be. And that is a long, long, monotonous process. So I know a little bit about headaches this week. But I asked DoorDash why, or I asked AI about DoorDash and why DoorDash would fail. I gotta hand it to AI. They're definitely on top of their game. James, how are you doing? Good to see you. Hopefully your week is starting off well. Warren says my car's so grimy. I wish it would stop raining long enough for a car wash. Yeah, because it gets wet and then it stops long enough to attract dirt, and then you get more, and it just cakes it on. It just layers it all up. I feel your pain. I actually have a white car, but currently it's like 50 shades of brown. Yeah, I definitely need a car wash. Or a torrential downpour with like 50, 60 mile an hour winds. That would be cool. Um, are we gonna get sunshine this week? Nope, we are not. The next chance, according to our forecast in the Evergreen State, Tuesday, next Tuesday, sunny and high of 51. I might have to survive a week to see some pretty blue skies. Oh well. Stacy, how are you doing? Am I ever on TikTok? Like I have a TikTok. I'm very like rarely on TikTok. Pretty much since September, I've really limited my time on social media. Kevin, Beer Can Museum, how are you? Mar, what's going on? Good to see you. It's good to see you too. Been worried about you, all the weather clips. Oh yeah. A lot of that's at higher elevations, and it's also further north of us. We did get a little bit of flooding through here a couple weeks ago, when all of that awesome stuff was going on. Jane, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? But yeah, staying safe. I think there was about 2 weeks there. Main road I go up to Mount St. Helens on. There was one or two areas where they had water over the roadway, like sitting, water just sitting over the roadway. Because you had like a pond on one side of the road, and you had a lake on the other side of the road, and it was at a low point, and we got a lot of rain. Tabit, I feel you there. They're good again. I can relate with my Seahawks because usually by this time of the season, um, one of my teams or some, oftentimes both of my teams are just letting me down. I'm still waiting for the day where they play each other. No, I don't want that. I know what happens the last. I know what happened the last time the Cowboys and Seahawks played each other in like the wild card. Tony Romo happened. Ellen, how are you doing? Good to see you. So I'm thinking now that I got a few of you guys in here, I am thinking of pulling out my DoorDash bag and burning it and making it a video. I'm pretty sure all of us at one point or another that have done DoorDash have wanted to burn our DoorDash bag. I'd really like to. I won't go shirtless, but it could be something like Castaway. I have made fire. Screw you, Tony. I'd watch it. First NFL game was Seahawks Jets in 1977. It's crazy you say that because I think my first Seahawks game was it against the Jets? It might have been against the Jets in the Kingdom. I did get to see the. I still have the ticket stub too. Cowboys at Seahawks when they were still playing. This was the transition years between the Kingdom and whatever field they're at now. I can't keep track because they're always changing it. What's it, Lumen Field or whatever? But there was a transition period for a few years where they would play all of their games uh, at the University of Washington. So I got to see a game there. Cowboys at Seahawks. I don't even remember who won. When they're both your teams, it kind of doesn't matter. Also, kind of does. You saw them at Shea Stadium. It would be cool to see. I wouldn't mind seeing a football game in every stadium. That'd be a cool like bucket list item. Warren says he's so old he remembers when the Super Bowl was the second Sunday in January. Mel had Big Bird poop on your car. I wouldn't be delivering on Sesame Street then. Making a soccer ball out of the bag. I'll come up with something. There'll be lots of fire though. And it's been a while since I've gotten to burn anything. So I do like fire. Jason, what's going on? They kicked you in the rear, kicked them back. I could include a picture of Tony while I'm burning it, but I feel like somebody would take offense to that. Joe Namath was Super Bowl MVP in Super Bowl III, and now he's selling hearing aids in the AARP magazine. The circle of life. So I should, okay, so I should include a picture of Tony. I feel like burning it would go over better than using it as target practice because somebody would take that as a potential threat, I guess. And I look at the hearing aid ads with great interest. Why? You don't need hearing aids, and even if you did, you don't need them. Like, yes, sometimes it's probably nice to be able to hear what other people are saying. For the most part, it'd probably be nicer to not hear a bunch of whining, screaming, entitled people complaining about how life isn't fair. I would personally rather not have hearing aids to hear that. I got the DoorDash pizza bags too. I completely forgot about those. I could burn a few of those. I mean, I could use those for target practice too. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Target practice. Burn a bag. Get target practice. I got enough bags for both. Are you kidding me? Although, Kevin, I will tell you, um, keep a couple of those pizza bags in your car because the first time I picked one up at Pizza Hut, they just kept giving them out over and over and over again. That's why I ended up getting like 6 or 8 of them. All I went to do, I remember I was on my way to Taco Bell. This was back in Nebraska. I was on my way to Taco Bell. Um, I had to whip a U turn, and so to turn around, I decided, instead of actually just making a U turn in the middle of O Street with traffic coming both ways, I'm gonna pull in. I'm gonna pull around the Popeyes drive-through because they weren't open. There was that much snow on the ground. They just nobody was there. They weren't open. So I get into Popeye's parking lot and I'm coming around and I ended up getting stuck. I happened to hit a pothole that was so covered, so I couldn't see it because there was that much snow on the ground. But I ended up hitting the pothole and it kind of buried my car a little bit. I'm like, oh God, how am I going to get out of here? I got nothing to get traction. I pulled out two of those cheap DoorDash bags that you get from Pizza Hut, the flat ones that you know which ones I'm talking about. And I put them. I kind of dug out my front tires and I slid the pizza bags under the tire as much as I could. Got back in the car, put it in drive, let it do its thing, and it slowly. I got traction, jumped out, grabbed the bags, threw them back in the trunk, and went on my way to Taco Bell. But I got out of there because of those pizza bags. I had nothing else for traction, and they worked. So I keep a couple extra, especially if you're in an area where you get a lot of snow. Yeah, kitty litter or DoorDash bags for traction. I mean, they were free, they worked, everything was wet, so it really wasn't dirty when they dried. I mean, that's who is really gonna need like 8, 10 pizza bags? Nobody. I didn't even my biggest order I ever delivered while I worked at Papa John's, I didn't need 10 bags. Hey, it worked. Yeah, whatever works. And I'm just letting you know, it works. The cheap pizza bags. Might not ever use DoorDash again or do DoorDash again, but those pizza bags are going to come in handy. But I gave well, my friend Joe, that some of you guys know, uh, I gave his mother-in-law one because she went and got us pizza one time, and it's gonna be like a 30-minute drive back, and I'm like, there's no way that pizza is gonna be hot by the time she gets back. So I gave her one of the bags to use. And now she uses it anytime she goes and gets hot food. Just goes right in the bag, and it keeps it hot. Eric, what's going on? How are you? Happy poop. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've used the pizza bags for my own pizzas. It's nice. Delivered 16 pizzas to a Target Christmas party. That's all the bags. Mm, that made something vibrate. Mary does not use the pizza bags. She uses the catering bags. I don't have I. I've used my catering bag a few times. I've used it more for grocery orders than regular catering orders. So I may end up putting a video out. It may end up being well, yeah. I might end up putting a video out about it. I asked AI though. No batteries needed for vibrate. No, as long as you got battery life and your phone, things vibrate. Eric, I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty well. Trying to get my website merch store off the ground. That's been a round and round with Shopify, but we're almost there. If I could just get AI to work a little bit quicker, that'll happen though. Uh, Patience, something I have, but I it's still difficult to maintain. So I asked AI why DoorDash would fail as a company, and here's what it said: uh, Chicago thin. I'll take Chicago. I'll take any kind. I'm in the mood for pizza, so I'll take. Ooh, God dang it! Deep dish too. Yes, pan pan pizza, pan supreme. Mel, you're at the squirrel level, 9 months. Thank you so kindly. All right, DoorDash faces. This is what AI came up with when I asked how or why DoorDash would fail. DoorDash faces significant headwinds that could lead to its failure, primarily driven by eroding profitability, operational inefficiencies, regulatory pressures, and a fundamentally flawed business model that alienates key stakeholders like drivers, restaurants, and consumers. I think I might have to lay off bashing AI so much because I think they've hit it on the head so far. The company's aggressive spending plans for 2026 have spooked investors, signaling that scale isn't translating to sustainable profits. Despite revenue growth, DoorDash announced it would pour hundreds of millions more into investments, which triggered a record stock plunge of over 17% in a single day. Its worst ever after Q3 2025 earnings fell short of expectations. Driver dissatisfaction is rampant, with many quitting due to low pay, exploitive metrics like desperation scores, and app glitches that make dashing unreliable. Posts from drivers highlight issues like manipulated incentives, suspended accounts without recourse, and a support system that's nearly impossible to navigate. I'm hearing nothing wrong at this point. Regulatory changes are hammering the model. In California, starting 2026, apps must issue full refunds, including tips, taxes, and fees for missing or wrong orders, and provide real human support, which could spike costs and lead to fee hikes that deter users. Seattle's minimum pay law already made DoorDash unprofitable there in 2024, causing order volumes to collapse. When you price yourself out of your own market, I think that goes back to flawed business model. That's just me. Uh, let's see. The core business model is unsustainable and value destructive. DoorDash harms restaurants by charging high commissions that eat into slim margins, often without consent, leading to cold, overpriced food that frustrates consumers. Um, Macroeconomic factors amplify these issues. Bifurcated consumer spending means fewer people can afford premium delivery, while inflation reprices inputs like fuel and wages upward. Acquisitions add integration headaches without proportional gains, as seen in Uber's contrast of organic growth in Europe. If belief in DoorDash's scalability evaporates as it did post earnings, the reflexive market purge could turn into a death spiral, with peers like Uber Eats gaining ground. In a world shifting towards cost defense over expansion, DoorDash's illusion of frictionless growth is shattering, paving the way for collapse unless it radically pivots, which seems unlikely given current trajectories. I think they nailed it. I really believe that they nailed it on the head. AI did. It's only a matter of time. DoorDash is either going to fail and never and just like they're going to file for bankruptcy, and it's going to be the last you hear of DoorDash, or the only way DoorDash survives is they either fire Tony and get an actual CEO that's competent, knows how to run a business, or they get bought out by somebody. You guys give me your thoughts on it, though. I feel like AI pretty well summed it up. Lion Dasher, what's going on? AI really nailed it about DoorDash. It definitely did. Jason, 19 months as a paying troll. Appreciate that. Warren says none of my portfolio is in DoorDash. I bought UPS when they were at their lowest, despite Amazon getting in the logistics game, but I won't buy DoorDash. I wouldn't. Yeah, well, actually, I would. I would buy it. I would wait until after they announce a big sell off, because generally when Tony and all of the upper level board members, whatever, start selling their stock off, they're not selling it on a dip. They're selling it before a dip. So, and I'm good with patterns, but this is definitely not financial advice. I think I have to say that now. Disclaimer. I was not a Boy Scout either. I did eat a brownie once. But if you go back and look timeline of when DoorDash's stock dips and when there's a massive sell-off from Tony and everybody else within the company that's holding a lot of stock, they sell, DoorDash stock goes down. Then DoorDash stock goes back up, bounces back, does whatever it does for a while. 6 months to another year later, boom, they're doing another sell-off. So James, appreciate the New Year's Eve 2026 emoji. Mary says, I have DoorDash and have not looked at it in months. They bought Deliveroo. See, they're spending money instead of, building a strong foundation. I mean, that's one thing Uber has over DoorDash. Grubhub really isn't doing it either. DoorDash is like running through the store like they're on MDMA or PCP or something, and just like grabbing everything and buying everything and doing everything they can in a complete and utter panic. Uber, though, they started out in rideshare. They got their. If you even look at the DoorDash or the Uber app now, compared to the Uber app 10 years ago, it hasn't really changed very much. If you look at the DoorDash app now compared to 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it's changed a lot. Uber doesn't change things very quickly. So on the business side of things, Uber is definitely owned, operated, managed a whole lot better. Fawn, how are you doing? Good to see you in here. Grubhub was removed from the stock market a while ago. I didn't even hear about that. Chubby, what's going on? $15 spark made 454. That's a that's an open to close, isn't it? For Spark, as far as that goes. I feel like that's an open to close because yeah, pretty much. One of my thoughts on shopping. I hate doing shopping orders on Spark. Yeah, Spark closes here at 11 too. I don't really do shopping orders on Spark because I have little brain dead Nazi receipt checkers at the doors at this location, and I'm an adult and I don't play children's games, so I don't go in there. We need to see your receipt. Why? All right, I've talked to two other. Anytime you go shopping at this one, you have to talk to at least three employees minimum. And that's not even during shopping. That's just from the time you get done shopping to the time you get out to your car. You got to ask an employee to unlock the register so that you can scan your barcode, so you can then go up to customer service, ask another employee for bags so that you can then get your receipt checked, or your phone in this case, at the door, so then you can get out to your car, bag the groceries, and then go deliver it. And it doesn't matter if you bag the groceries inside or you wait to bag them at your car. They're still going to stop you. They're still going to make you show your phone. Some of them like to get a little handsy with it. And yeah, I don't know where your hands have been. I don't want to know where your hands have been because you work at Walmart and you're not touching my phone. That's why there's some things I feel like it was really nice about COVID. Stay 6 feet away from me, and no, you're not touching my phone. There were some positives about COVID. Amazon owns 7% of Grubhub. And they're at some point they'll own 97%. I see Amazon buying Grubhub and then just incorporating that into. They could actually incorporate that into Flex. And it would be very similar to DoorDash as far as your shopping orders, you're picking up multi quantity or multi drop off orders, restaurants. I could see, I could potentially see Amazon doing that. Oh yeah, they they always ask for your receipt. I remember Postmates. I used to have a Postmates bag. I don't know what happened to it. I think I may have given it to somebody who didn't have a bag. It's probably what happened. I've given so many bags away. I look like I've lost more weight in my face. I've bottomed out at my weight loss. I can't actually lose any more weight. Doesn't matter. I bottomed out. Now I got to gain about 10 pounds of that back, but properly muscle eating right. Darla, how are you doing? It's got to be steady enough for me to do over 10. I get bored waiting for an order. In my area, the Walmart is pretty lax. The curbside pickup area here, I absolutely love. Most most of the employees, I have no issues with. Most of them. There's two, and that I have an issue with, and that is because I don't think these two people could spell common sense if they put their heads together and asked Google. One of them, I think, was probably dropped on their head as a baby multiple times because there's just no common sense there at all. And the other one is a supervisor. And again, I guarantee that one was definitely dropped on her head as a baby, maybe been flung across the room. The one took over loading for a different employee on my car a few weeks ago. And the one that was helping me had to go back in and print off a new label because one of them had torn. So he's like, I got everything else scanned. I just have to rescan, the one that I have to reprint. So go ahead and start loading everything up if you want to. Um, of course, I'm not going to waste time waiting for you to print the receipt or the label, come back out, and then start unloading. No, I'll just have everything loaded up. So I get the first two orders in. All the doors are scanned, shut. All that's left is one order, and the trunk lid's open. And then she comes out and goes, "We switched." I'm like, "Switched what?" Because mind you, the last thing I knew what was going on was there was an issue with a label. He was gonna go print a new one, and now somebody else is coming out here going, "We switched." What did we switch? It could have been anything. You could have switched genders, and it would like I don't know what you switched. You're just coming out here with this vague like we switched. I'm like, switched what? And her response was, "We switched." My brain may hurt for asking this. Switched what? Oh, well, he's going to take care of another order and I'm going to finish yours up. Okay. Where do you want this? It looks like there's room in my trunk. Trunk lid's open. It's empty. There's only one order left on their cart. I want you to put it under the hood. The milk, that'll fit right next to my radiator. Where do you think I want it going? When those two aren't working, curbside is such a smooth process. Everybody's on their A game. The employees, they show up to work and they get their stuff done and it's nice. When those two other employees are working, we just throw a wrench into it and everybody's all of a sudden, you know, waiting 20, 30, 35 minutes for an order to come out that Mississippi, how are you? It's a working kind of night. It's a Tuesday. Yeah, I was on Postmates. I think before I was on DoorDash. I think. I don't remember. It seems like it was so long ago. COVID, 2020, just like there was a whole year of just what happened. Hello, Darker Sparker. Mississippi says shop and delivers are best in my small market. Like I'll do my exception on shopping orders on Spark now is 5 items or less, going 5 miles or less, and paying at least $20. And I better be able to do that in like 30 minutes. Aside from that, no, not happening. I turned down an order today that was going, it was 24.23 going 23.8 miles. There no Walmart was closer. And I think they tipped $5 and I just declined it because I saw a $5 tip and I'm like, you know where you live. Like, you live halfway to Mount St. Helens, and you're gonna tip $5? Maybe if you lived in town, I would do it for a $5 tip, but there's no way I'm not driving almost 24 miles one way to drop your precious little grocery order off for a $5 tip just so I can drive another 24 miles back to the store. Decline. Lion Dasher says I don't do Spark enough. I probably do 20 max trips on Spark a month, if that, because I'm almost 9 miles from Walmart. If you can get one of the .com orders or the general merchandise orders where you got like 12, 15, 18 drop-offs, those orders, depending where they're going and how it's all routed, I've taken quite a few of those. Those can be some good money for 2 hours. Paul says, can't lose weight, but our minds are weightless. And other people's brains are just empty. Grocery cookies via the manifold method. I will recook your rotisserie chicken on the way. They want you to put it on the hood of your car. Yvonne, thank you for the flower. Yeah, if there's no tip, I'm not generally not doing it. If it's over 100 items, I am definitely not shopping it. Not happening. That's valid. If the MGD came in, that would be better and worth it. You just got to figure out the time, because usually, like this Walmart, they've got at least two. Most of the time, they have three different MGD orders, .com orders, whatever you want to call them, drop at the same time or within a few minutes of each other. And for me, it's 5:15 p.m. on the West Coast that they drop. I'm not sure if it's that way for all Walmarts because they changed their time here from 2:15 in the afternoon, which was a lot nicer. You could deliver everything in the daylight, and of course, as soon as you know the time change happened and we're getting darker earlier, they're like, "Oh, we're going to bump it up to 5:15, so it gives more people time to order, and we can get more orders out." And so your driver has a higher likelihood of getting into an accident because you want them to deliver that many orders in a tight time frame in the dark. Brilliant. Um, well, I appreciate that, Yvonne. Chris, drive safe. There's in the dark. Oh dear. Yeah, Paul. I Most of the deer around here, they know not to get in front of a car. They're still small brained animals though. 7-Eleven or Reservation Indian? I have no idea. You almost hit one in town. They're fun to watch when they get in town. It's like they freak out like they're looking for a McDonald's or something. There was one that got loose and or made its way actually downtown Lincoln a few years ago. I was driving up 17th Street, headed towards downtown, and all of a sudden, between two apartment buildings, this big old doe comes running across the road. And like, I didn't have that on my bingo card today. A deer running through the ghetto, like 4 blocks from downtown. Saw it an hour later in the median. It was okay. Animal control got it and knocked it out with the tranquilizer. Indian drivers are more a DoorDash thing. That's really all. Yeah, it is on DoorDash. You should get tickets if they don't use the deer crossings. I mean, they have signs. Not on bingo card or speak and spell. I miss for all of the advances in technology, we had some pretty cool games growing up. Speak and spell, Teddy Ruxpin. I mean, I still have my original Game Boy. Light switches says wake up. Oh, I'm definitely awake. Oh, good lord. I've seen 7-Eleven workers that go on break and do DoorDash. I swear I witnessed it before. So 7-Eleven really is delivering their own orders. That was terrible. No, I'm sorry. Terrible was actually me asking if we're talking about 7-Eleven Indians or reservation ones. It's a valid question though. I didn't know which ones we were talking about. Probably because the light switches weren't well grounded. And I'm actually caught up. Darla, I am not in Nebraska. I am in Washington State. I don't see as many, well, I don't see as many weird things living in Washington State. Now, that would be completely different if I went to Portland. Like I could go to Portland and I could see a lot of, well, Portland's motto is keep Portland weird. That is they're taking that mantra as more of a challenge because they actually just keep getting weirder and weirder. Ellen, it is your last day in your 40s. Well, enjoy it. I have, what day are we at? Oh, the 6th and the 4th. I have 361 days left of my 30s. That that's all I got left. But happy early birthday. Washington near the coast. Yep, I am. I'm in southwestern Washington. Jason will be 42 beginning of February. Ellen looks like she's just waiting 5 more years for discounts. And I got 16 years left until that happens. Now you are allowed to say, in all my years, I never. Oh boy. I've done a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I can't say that I haven't done. Travis, what's going on? It has been a while. Still working nights, doing Uber rides. This is the least stressful job I've ever had. Good. And it is nice picking up, you pick up strangers, but oftentimes you have really nice conversations with people. It really lets you know that the real true weirdos are, in fact, just on the internet. I feel like I could almost be president. I could almost run for president. I am old enough now. I wouldn't want to be president. Today was a no good. Today was no good, Phil, and I didn't go out today. Waited 30 minutes slicing 250 for 6 miles. I knew it was going to be a bad day. I had the same thing with Spark. My very first offer they sent me was $11.47 to go drop 3 orders off, and it was going to take an hour. And there was a combined total tip of $3. I was like, no. Hopefully, you get whatever you ordered at some point today, but it ain't going to be by me. Captain Michael! I'm talking about you earlier. Good things only, I promise. You're watching a real peaceful protest happening today. They actually have those? It's a southern thing, Charlie, and to fill in the blank. Oh, I know. I was just trying to think of something that I could have filled in the blank with. That sounded terrible. Um, nothing's coming to mind, which is sad. There's no feeling like the one you get the first time you give a senior they give you a senior discount without even asking. Mm, yeah, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it and throw whoever gave me that discount off said bridge. I don't even like being called sir. Do not call me sir. I work for a living. Do not call me sir. The other things you can call me. A lot of things you could call me, but sir isn't one of them. Yes, Captain Michael has found a new love with Uber and Uber Eats. Yes, your Steelers made the playoffs. Deb, how are you doing? Good to see you. Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, it is the 6th. Okay. Mel is trying to decide if she should eat the cookies her daughter made her or not. Why wouldn't you? The only way that I would not eat cookies is if if I thought somebody would put or had put laxatives in there or used rotten eggs. Otherwise, I'm eating the cookies. Paul, our team got a bye. Hope it doesn't turn into a bye bye. I know. I would. Yeah, I know. Kind of hoping the same thing. My respect to the chat and your channel. There are many more important things happening than listening to things that aren't important. Well, that's like 90% of social media, at least. I feel like oftentimes social media is glorified and monetized stupidity. I mean, when you scroll through social media, doesn't matter Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, you go into the reels, at some point you're going to see somebody in a video doing something stupid and it's got hundreds of thousands, millions of comments and likes. And then you see, other videos where people are, helping somebody else out, and like the person that's doing the helping doesn't even know that they're being recorded, and those videos don't do well as well. We have monetized stupidity, and it's honestly really sad. You think with all that money they're making, they could buy some common sense. Don't eat the cookies that taste like old coffee. Once gone, then Christmas present gone. Yeah, but that's kind of a Christmas present that I don't think that would be a good Christmas present in July. Bears versus Cheeseheads. So there's going to be a lot of cheese grater hats. Watching Charlie's more important to her than looking at social media. Common sense is diminishing. Yeah, common sense is on life support. Right there with chivalry, and that's pretty much about it. Jay says cheesehead here. Well, what's good, brother? Common what? Common sense. My friend is a Bears fan. Okay, in one message, Captain Michael is excited about the Bears and the Packers, and now he's going go Texans. Warren says, "Common sense, didn't they stop making pennies?" They did. They stopped producing pennies, and this is why I need to sell 26,000 decals and buy land and live off grid for the rest of my life. Because most stores that I go into now, they're not doing cash back at self checkouts because they're claiming there is a penny shortage because the federal government is not producing any more pennies. So the shortage just happened magically overnight because this country's been producing pennies for like over 150 to almost, close to 200 years. And yes, I know you're not going to go down to your local Walmart or your Costco or Safeway or Meijer or whatever and find a 1869, penny in your change. Although if you do, you just hit the jackpot. Uh, I don't think there's all of a sudden a shortage of pennies just because the government is not making them anymore. Somehow they're saying that there's a shortage and everybody's freaking out about it. There's probably let's go to let's go ask how many pennies are in circulation. There are an estimated 250 to 300 billion with a B billion pennies in circulation. There's only 330 million people in the United States, and there's 250 to 300 billion pennies in circulation. I don't think there's a shortage that they think there is. But Warren, I could go to the bank right now and get, rolls of pennies. That's not a problem. Like 10 years ago, they were talking about, yeah, way before the 2016 election. They were talking about then what they're going to do long term on, penny production because in like 2015 it costs like 2 cents to make every 1 cent. And I mean, 250, 300 billion pennies. That is 909 pennies in circulation for every human in the United States. I just don't see there's a shortage. Yes, Paul, producing pennies didn't make sense. They cost more sense than it did to make them. Only half of them voted. Yvonne, no overtime? So I'll be back with hubby making them deliveries and videos. Well, good. I'm sorry you don't get overtime. I've been hearing more and more places doing away with overtime, especially after uh, the whole no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. And that, mind you, that guys, that's at the federal level. It's not at a state level, and that's why you have a lot of people in certain states that are upset about other new taxes that these states are introducing because, oh, hey, you can you can afford to pay your state more taxes now because you're not having to pay the federal government as many in taxes. But it makes sense, please. I bet the bank won't sell you a roll of pennies. They won't sell them to their business customers anymore. Or they could just, I don't know, flat tax 10% everything, round up instead of 379, it's 380. Instead of 4.99, it's $5. It practically is anyway. Like logically, it's not that big of a problem. I guarantee no business is going to complain about somebody coming in with $5 and pennies wanting to pay for something. And if they do, let me know. I'm going to go visit that place. I'll make a video about it and call everybody stupid. Uh, they want to make money through streaming, and they are harming all the drivers. Well, I think maybe what you're referring to is some streamers that are providing false information to their viewers. Is that what you're talking about, Bass? During the pandemic, I had to buy pennies from my customers if I wanted to have them available to make change. It happens, not as far fetched as you think. I'm just saying, 250 to 300 billion pennies in circulation, and there's this massive shortage because they stopped producing them, and it hasn't even been a year, and they're screaming shortage. Trust me, I remember the whole coin shortage of 2020, right along with the whole toilet paper shortage, and I think that's when common sense went out the window. No, that is when common sense went out the window too. American customers no longer want to pay tips. Well, a lot of that you can think the fees, a lot of fees the fees between the companies as far as their order processing fee, order handling fee, order fee, small item fee, small order fee, uh, all the little BS fees that they keep coming up to try to extort money out of people. And then on top of that, you have all the little taxes that are in there as well. They're sprinkled in there. Uh, all of the fees. I was looking at my cell phone bill a couple of weeks ago, and the amount of fees are beyond ridiculous. There's no need for half of them, at least. The rest of them, they have some explaining to do. And when you get, it's like death by a thousand cuts between the fees and the taxes. We were talking about it earlier with, why, because I asked DoorDash or asked AI why DoorDash would fail as a company. And AI was friggin' spot on. Now there'll be less road rage on the road. I'd hope so. If you're talking about all the people that shouldn't be driving that are now free to move to another country, then yes. Has it really affected DoorDash though at this point? Not yet. It'll happen. It's going to happen. And no more state taxes in Texas. That must be nice. Oh, you mean you exhibiting road rage? The way drivers have been, or at least around here, they've probably been the same in your area the last couple of weeks. I really just want to drive around with a dozen eggs, and now that eggs are back to a somewhat normal price, I want to chuck an egg at somebody's windshield that's driving stupid. I'd run out of eggs pretty quickly. I was driving by a parking lot earlier, by one. No, I wasn't in one. I was driving by one, and I had some woman come flying through the parking lot, about ran into me, hits her brakes. I had to hit my brakes, and she starts honking at me. Rain or no rain, I rolled my window down and I let her have it. You're in a parking lot, pulling out of a parking lot onto a road. You don't have the right of way. You got the right to shut, the hell up and go back to driving school. That would probably be best for everyone. But you don't just get to fly out of a parking lot of a store onto a street and get mad at the person rightfully in the street. I mean, she thought she could. That was just one of about seven idiots I ran into today. Almost literally ran into today. Customers, that's one nice thing I gotta say with Spark is the number of customers I don't have to deal with. It's usually their dogs. It is raining. It has been raining all day. No taxes on food at grocery stores. That'd be nice. Seen plenty of piggy banks die to pay for a pizza. Or some perks about delivering pizza, like working at a pizza place, delivering. So every once in a while, you would get somebody that would they would give you their tip, your tip in quarters. I never complained about quarters because I either got to wash my car, I got to do laundry, but quarters, I could always use quarters. I felt bad for the people that were having to tip me in quarters, but I definitely did not mind getting them. Oh, if you went through a junkyard and picking up pennies, you would have a full-time job and you might come out somewhat wealthy. Yvonne, I think if you guys are more than welcome to come up here, enjoy all the rain you want. You might get tired of it pretty quick. Captain Michael never expects tips while delivering. Never expect tips while I'm on the water. Well, here's a tip for you the next time you're on the water. Wear a life jacket. Safety first. You can't do gig work in an SUV. You need a car that gets 35 to 45 mpg. He understands that the real winners are those who get. Yes and no. I mean, I know plenty of people who are actually making decent money driving a pickup, driving an SUV. If you're one of those that need to take every order, then yeah, you probably want to drive a Prius or a Tesla. But even in some areas where it like if I went to Nebraska and did DoorDash, I could probably make the same amount as somebody after expenses. I could make the same amount as somebody in California who's and that person gets better gas mileage than me. Because mileage does play a factor, but also the price of gasoline plays a huge factor too. So it's not as simple and clear cut as just hey, have a car that gets really good fuel mileage. I mean, I get roughly 30 miles per gallon in this car. Most of my miles are highway, or to the point I'm driving highway speeds. I'm also paying 3.29 a gallon. I think gas in Nebraska right now, and I only use Nebraska because I've lived there and I can speak on that because I'm actually speaking on something I know about. Gas is like $1 a gallon cheaper. So every fill up that from empty, I'm talking 15, $16. You're saving 15, $16 every time you fill up. There's a lot of factors. Don't give him ideas, says Mel or Yvonne. I'm reading Mel's comment too, right below yours. Um, we should just all carry. We'll be the scrambled egg crew. I don't know. Bumper sticker that says "Keep honking." I'm reloading. You, sir, are a goddamn genius. Where's my memo pad? Notes. Keep honking, I'm reloading. I'll come up with something cool for that. Yvonne has driver etiquette, and Michael says that she's too nice. So do you flip people off with a smile, or do you just give them a thumbs down? Raining in Washington? Never happens. There's a reason it's the Evergreen State. Michael, I could work on that. Sticker that says you're lucky I have a unicorn in the car. Oh God, Paul. Waiting for a loose change tip at a dispensary so I can say I got a dime baggie for a tip. Mel, yes, those are nice vehicles. There'd been one in my price range, I'd be driving a RAV4 instead of a Camry. 214 a gallon in Texas, that's good. 208, 195 to 225 for Paul. 195, Captain Michael. Good Lord. Warren, I thought it was moss. Moss grows on everything, it seems like. Not just on the north side of the tree. But Warren has a Kia Niro hybrid, 50 miles per gallon. I gotta say though, just being in Washington State and not paying over $4 a gallon for gas is kind of nice. I'm gonna add the other one to my notes too. All right. I've got keep honking, I'm reloading, and you're lucky I have a unicorn in the car. I have them both saved. I have one. A lot of people around here. I know will see this and then end up wanting it. Um, I get compliments on my make sense comment again decal as well weekly. But I got AI. I was able to use. I made the decal. I took a picture of the decal. I upload it, and I told AI, put this on the bumper of a car and show it to me. So that is one because there's a lot of drivers around here that, well, they also get called bumper humpers. You can be driving down the road and not have a car for a half, three quarters of a mile behind you. And as soon as you blink, sneeze, cough, or fart, you will have somebody on your tail, and you're wondering, wow, did the aliens just bring you back? Because you went from nowhere to like on my back door, like so close. Usually a woman's got to buy me dinner first. But yes, sorry for driving so close in front of you. Thank you for the floating heart. And the unicorn has an Uzi. Oh, I could make the unicorn hold an Uzi. I could do that. No, bumper humpers. Bass has a 2013 Mazda 3i. Spend $10 and make 200 in profit. Nice. You guys, holy crap! Where did the time go? Other than flying by, because it just last hour and a half just flew by. You were called a cracker a couple weeks ago. Saltine, chicken and a biscuit, wheat thin. I don't know anybody who doesn't like crackers. Oh Lord, tamales sound amazing. I don't know where I would have to go to get tamales. Cheese and crackers are the best. They really are. Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its are a cracker. Um, that's why you don't get tacos at Taco Bell. So I'll have you running for the border. Oh, my mother sent a 2026 New Year's. Thank you, Mom. She's probably going, where is he still alive? Yes, I'm still alive. It wasn't Taco Hell. I think it would have been better off at Taco Bell. Thank you, Michael. Yes, I had a birthday the other day. I think this one might be my last birthday. Just gonna stay this age. It's easier. I'm trying to avoid it. I'll stay at 39. I stayed at 21 as long as I could. I got I got old pretty quick. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mel. All right, you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go eat something for dinner. It's kind of like going on a blind date. I don't know what's gonna happen. Warren says he's still 16. Is that the age you wanted to stick with? Guess there's worse ages to stick with. Go Bears, go Texans. Yes. You guys all have a great night. I'm gonna go get some dinner, whatever it is, and I'm gonna make some decal. No, I'm not making decals. I'm getting the website launched. Definitely needs launched before my next birthday. So I'm gonna get out of here. You guys all have a great night. Appreciate all the birthday wishes and the likes and the thumbs up and all that. So We will be back soon. Maybe a surprise live. Who knows? Uh, you guys all have a good night, though.